So let me just try to flush out that first image that I saw with the Nautilus shell, okay? And I mentioned this with the Virgo reading. And I mentioned heavily, you know, Virgo is your polar opposite in the zodiac wheel, right? Um, the Virgoan people are so structured, okay? Their life is very regimented. And they kind of have like this life plan for themselves, you know, at any point in their lives. They always have like goals and like timelines, okay? Everything is planned out very meticulously. When I'm 30, I need to be at the peak of my career. When I'm 31, I should ideally, you know, have a house. When I'm 32, I should have a life partner. When I'm 33, I should possibly have a kid. When I'm 35, I should be like at the peak of my career with like a dog, a minivan, you know, things like that. They have everything meticulously planned out. And I told Virgos that the process of planning out everything down to the T, it's very, very stressful. So if you have Virgoan friends, you look at them and it seems like they're doing things with such ease. It seems like their life is very, very stable. It seems like you might admire a lot of your Virgoan co-workers, colleagues, friends, even partner, okay? Because everything that they do is meticulously planned out. And on the opposite end of the spectrum with you guys are a lot more free-flowing. You guys are a lot more creative. You guys are a little bit more, I feel like whatever will come, will come. You're not like stringently, you know, planning out every single detail of your life. We generally have like a timeline for ourselves when we want to get certain things accomplished. But I feel like for a lot of Piscean people, whatever will come, will come. I'm not going to be a control freak and try to compartmentalize and try to, you know, set myself up in a linear fashion. I want to be able to enjoy whatever that comes in, to grab new opportunities, to be nimble and to, you know, be flexible. And so I feel like that the message that I deliver to Virgo, there's a switcheroo between the energies between you and your polar opposite. Because with the Virgo reading, it was more like, be more like the Pisces, be less obsessive, be less of a planner, be more open, be more receptive, be more creative and less critical. And then now coming for you guys, it's all about planning a little bit more. You're definitely planning. Dreams are coming true. Things are like spiraling, not out of control, but you set things in motion from the point of origin. And now steps are laid out for you. And now you have this linear path that you're walking along. Your reputation is getting bigger and bigger. Your capabilities are growing. Your sense of responsibilities too, because you've mastered things and people entrust you with things. But I feel more than anything, your reputation, you know, you have this bird's eye view. If in the past you have been feeling very, very muddled, where am I going within the next 2 years? What career do I want? You know, I feel like something is now at a point where it's like, you're seeing the big picture, you're getting the lay of the land, and you already know this is where I'm headed. So if you need to do any course correction, you know exactly what actions you need to take in order to get yourself back on that course. Okay. And then on the other hand, you have a bird's eye view where you can anticipate 2 years from now, this is what I'm going to do. 5 years from now, this is what my life is going to look like. And it's coming in that way because you have always allowed the universe to let things come in for you. But I feel like within the past few years, you did something to really set things in motion, to steer your life back on the rightful course, to start doing things and living your life as a free person. So I don't know if some of you might have been under, I literally feel like under somebody's thumbs, okay? Working or doing things based on expectations of other people. And now you're just like, no, this is my life and I'm going to do it the way that I want. So it could be family expectation, cultural expectation, societal expectations, for example. And now you're just like, no, I don't want to walk that straight and narrow path anymore. I want to do a spiral. Okay. So that could be it. Or some of you have like, finished some major phase in your life. So for example, if you were working in a contract basis and they sign your contract for like 2 years, for example, and then you're just like, while you're working, you're just like, oh my gosh, 2 years is going to be around the corner. After 2 years, then I have to find another job. And so you were working with the thought of the impending 2-year limit kind of like on the back of your mind. And it brought a lot of stress. And you're just like, I'm going to excel at my job. I'm going to do a really, really good job so that they renew my contract. But then once the 2 years, like it's almost over, you're just like, I don't even want to work for these people anymore. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but you're just like, I want the independence. I don't want to have that, contract, deadline, limit on the back of my mind. I want to be able to come and go where I please. And I also feel like you have really up your game when it comes to your professional image, and your reputation is getting, like I said, bigger and bigger. So you're in a place where you don't need them to renew your contract. You're very employable. And so if you might have put yourself out there in the world, looking for new jobs, looking for new connections, looking for a new company that you can jump into, like jump ship. Okay. And I feel like those opportunities have been coming in, and you're realizing that, this 2-year contract is not going to fly anymore. It was a tool to keep me tethered to them and to keep me hanging on without promising me anything stable or anything solid. I'm not playing that game anymore. I'm going to stay ahead of the curve and to, explore my other options. Okay. So that's what I'm feeling here. I feel like there might have been a work situation where people were a little bit kind of like under the radar, or not completely transparent with what they were doing, with their intentions for you, with their plans for you. I feel like they kept you very, very tethered, waiting for them, hanging on at their beck and call. And because of that, I do feel like you are seeing the situation for what it is. And you're not really wanting to engage in that anymore. Okay. So what I have here is the 7 of Swords. This is like sneaky behavior, getting away with the spoils in the middle of the night. Okay. And it's somebody definitely being found out. And I feel like this might have been in the work environment where you're waiting. Okay. 3 of Wands, waiting for your ship to come in. Is that contract going to get renewed? Am I going to get a sponsor? I do see a lot of travel and movement as well. Visa sponsorship. So for example, if you're waiting on a work visa, if you're waiting for feedback, if you're waiting for an interview, if you're waiting for a promotion, if you're waiting for your superiors to recognize that you're doing a really good job, and for them to give you the compensation or even the recognition or even the promotion that you deserve. I feel like somebody's whispering, sweet words into your ears, and they're like, oh, we're going to promise you all these things. And then at the end of the day, you're just like, you know what? Talk is cheap. I want you to deliver. And as a result of that, they kept you hanging on, but you're at a point where you are a lot more intuitive. You're being a lot more, I want to say, you're seeing beneath their motives. Okay. You're like unearthing and then like really figuring out, what are their motives? Why are they telling me this? Why are they telling me this at this moment in time when I'm thinking about exploring my other options? So that's what I feel is happening here. You're unearthing something. You're coming to the realization of something. The veil is lifted. You're behaving more like a Virgo, where you're thinking in a very practical, rational way, and you're kind of like critical. Why are they telling me this right now? When it's like they're afraid to lose you. For some of you, this could also be playing out in a relationship as well. We have here the 2 of Cups. This is greatly about love relationships, okay? Contracts as well. Why are they telling me this now? When they see me withdrawing my energy or about to go or about to leave. And so I feel like somebody is making up to you. making it up to you or like making you promises, they are going to deliver because they're afraid to lose you. But I feel like in the past, they might have done something that kept you kind of like tethered, kept you holding on, giving you high hopes. And now they're getting very, very serious because they are afraid that you have other options. You're going to leave, that, you know, you're not going to be waiting around. Your back is partially halfway turned and you can, you know, bolt out that door any minute now. The Three of Wands is also about like working really hard for something and seeing the results of it. Okay. So it's sort of like all the news that you've been sending out to the universe, job applications, making connections and things like that, or even, you know, sending out love to another person. It's coming back home to roost. So like I said, the pigeon in the ivory tower bringing a message. That's what I'm seeing here. Okay. This is a messenger here, the Page of Wands, and the little bird with the note in his beak. This is like really, really, really great news that will be a cause for celebration with you. There's also something about a writing assignment. Possibly you might have written something, an article, a journal, getting published, for example. You might have written an article in a journal, or you might have sent something for publication. You might have finished a book. You might have finished a big, big project that involves a lot of writing. I also feel news coming through in written form, such as a letter, an email, text messages as well, but I feel like it's a little bit more on the professional end because of this letter that's, this scroll that's hanging off, or banner that's hanging off his horn here. It's like something very official. Some official documents are being sent to you. And then as a result of that, we have the Eight of Cups. It allows you to move on because it brings about new opportunities. Okay, so like the things are spiraling. Things are happening very, very fast, and you're going to start to see an acceleration of that. Okay, news coming in very fast, communication coming in through very, very quickly. So things are no longer at a snail's pace. You're no longer at the beck and call of somebody else. You're kind of like flying over your emotional problems or flying over an emotional ordeal and freeing yourself, really lifting yourself up off the ground and really freeing yourself. So we have some really beautiful things. I pulled out those two cards to clarify the Death card. And this is a major news, major transformation that's coming through in the picture. That's going to allow your life to reset or restart in a big way. Okay. In a different, like 180, turn, but I also feel like a turn of events. And I keep seeing the spiral, the nautilus shell. So it's like things are getting bigger and bigger. You know, like that snowball, right? Snowballing. It starts out really little. It rolls down the hill, gathers momentum, and also collects more snow. And then it just like becomes really, really big. And it's like things set in motion. So I feel like we have some really powerful cards and energies coming through the later part of this this month for you guys. First of all, we have here a very, very big wish coming into the picture. We have the Star, and this is wish fulfillment. Something that you've been dreaming about, okay? It's like the star, the big star is right above her head, okay? She's like doing other things. She's she's like, it's sort of like this wish, you're just like, it's out of reach. It's too good to be true. It's never going to happen for me. But you always wonder. So she's always looking up at it. Like, oh, if only, you know. And then while she's dreaming about it, thinking about it, she's, you know, managing her responsibilities, work life, personal life, taking care of things, taking care of this little bird right here, tending to her garden, possibly like, you know, getting her life together. And this wish has always been in the back of her mind. If only had that. And so the Star card signifies something is coming in a very, very big way. For some of you, we have here a big career boost. We also have as well. So the dream that you might have had, and you feel like it's slightly too good to be true, or it's just like a pipe dream, or it's just out of reach. It's coming in. Your ships are coming in. For others of you, this might be on the relationship front, wanting a stable relationship, wanting a harmonious relationship, wanting to see eye to eye with another person, not wanting to argue anymore, wanting to understand and have some type of a major transformation and breakthrough with another person. For those of you who have had relationship issues and you've gone through like a counselor, a marriage counselor, a guidance counselor, whatever it is, you're getting some major emotional breakthroughs that will really, really help the two of you bond together. And then I also feel like, marriage and stability, okay? This is a soulmate connection. We also have here the Four of Wands, which is solidifying a relationship, taking relationships to the next level, moving in together, getting married, getting engaged, making something very, very official. And I also feel with the Hierophant, this is like under the eyes of the laws, you guys are legally married. So I see like a lot of proposals, a lot of love, a lot of escalation, moving the relationship to the next level as well with the Ace of Cups. So there is a major outpouring of love coming into the picture. So if there's something that you have been waiting on for a really long time, your wish is coming true. If you have, if like somebody has been kind of like taking you for granted, for example, thinking you're not going to leave and you're just like starting to drift away, I feel like they're kicking themselves and they're just like, they're getting more serious. Okay. You're kind of like turning away and they don't want to lose you. So they're stepping up their game. They're becoming more serious. They're taking things seriously. So I feel like there's a lot of good news happening in your environment as it relates to those of you who might be in a relationship where you're really solidifying your plans. You are creating plans with one another as a couple. So it's not just, me anymore. It's like working together with another person to create some very, very solid, practical, pragmatic, long-term, long-lasting, and stable plans with another person. There's a lot to celebrate here, okay? You have as well some news coming through. We have as well this is the Page of Cups, okay? So we have Page of Wands, good news on the business front. Page of Cups, good news coming through on the relationship front. And I also feel like you might even have somebody, you might even have somebody that might be making like flirtatious gestures at you. You could be single or married or in a relationship. They're still really, giving you like they're flirting with you heavily. Okay. And I see for some of you, you're not really sure what to do, but you might not engage in this type of behavior because you feel like, oh, if I'm in a relationship, then I want to honor that. So I'm not going to respond. Or if you feel like they're in a relationship, then you're definitely not going to respond because you want to honor the sanctity of your relationship or their relationship, and you're not going to dabble in that. So I feel like you're getting like a big breadth of vision. You're getting that bird's eye view, and you're starting to see how all the pieces fit together. Okay, so I'm getting a lot of this big sense of major awareness coming in for you guys, where you have a clearer sense when it comes to your career, where you have a clearer sense when it comes to your relationship. And then I also feel like, really strong, really, really, really strong, heavy soulmate connection, new love coming into the picture at the end of this Death card with the Ace of Cups. Really good news for those who are, currently single and dating. And I see escalation, moving relationships to the next level for those of you who are already in existing relationships, okay? So there's a blending of really good positive energies, okay?